Good morning, this is Destiny checking in with today's Daily Diamond. Hey family, as always I would like to say welcome to any new subscribers. Thank you for checking out my podcast. You know that I appreciate all of the support, and I would like to say hey again to anybody who's been listening and tuning in. Today's topic promises to be an engaging one. I'm really excited to talk about it, but you know that before I do that, I have to give a shout out to my loyal sponsors. First up, we have Kisses by Shelly. You know Shelly offers custom made lip glosses made by her with nice scents, a whole lot of glitter but not too much, and they are my absolute favorite go-to, have to have it in my bag lip gloss. Then up next, of course, we have Royal Crown Extensions. Royal Crown Extensions just posted, as of, I believe, yesterday, their price list. So we've got some new prices, some new updates, a bunch of new things going on. So make sure you check out Royal Crown Extensions and their website. They've got some serious heat coming your way. And last but not least, we've got Lisha, our braider. Make sure if you're looking for a braider, she's an up-and-coming hairstylist, especially if you're looking for some box braids. She also does ponies and wraps, but make sure you check Lisha out. And if and when you check out either one of the girls, be it Lisha, be it Shelton, or be it Sade with Royal Crown Extensions, make sure you let them know that Destiny sent you. They need to know that people are listening to me. All right, so on to today's topic. Today's topic is one that I'm really excited to talk about. Today's topic is, drum roll please, and no, not happening. It is Black Boy Joy. And when I say Black Boy Joy, I am talking about all of the things that it takes in this world to be a black man that are beautiful, that are powerful, that are so necessary for our world to be a better place. And so when I talk about Black Boy Joy, it is a concept that I think got popularized on social media. But if you are one of these like woke, socially conscious black folks, you know exactly what Black Boy Joy is. And when I say Black Boy Joy, I don't only want to talk about black boys, but I want to talk about black manhood in this country and in this world that we live in. And so, black man, you are God's greatest creation. You are God's greatest gift. And I think if more of our black men knew that, we would have a lot less problems. Not necessarily talking about societal issues, but if our black men and our black boys and our black children, young children, understood that from birth that they were kings and they were queens and that they were royal, it would change their psyche. You know, if you just kind of thought about it, if someone had raised you all of your life to be something elite, and it didn't matter what anyone told you because you knew that you were elite, you knew that you were great, you knew that you were magical, you would hold that mantra strong, and it wouldn't matter what the world threw at you, you could hold on to it. So imagine what our world would be like, especially the world of our black men and our black youth, our black boys, if we raised them to have this concept of Black Boy Joy and to have this concept that they, as a man, are one of God's greatest gifts to us. I know that people are going to be like, oh, this sounds overly racial, or oh, this sounds overly celebratory of the black man. Yes, it's overly celebratory of the black man, because you know what? They need it. They don't get enough celebration. When we look at the news and we look at the media, every black man that we see is painted in a negative light. And sometimes our black men need to know that they are beautiful, that they are powerful, that they are purposeful, and that they are indeed what we needed and what we want in this life. And that they, as a man, regardless of, even though they are colored men of color, they are not necessarily people who need to be ostracized. They are not people that need to be hurt. Before anybody says anything, when I say colored men of color, I did not mean like the racial term color, so don't judge me. I just, you got me. Okay, good. All right, but I think that's important. This concept of Black Boy Joy is something on the media, on social media, that I have absolutely fallen in love with. I love seeing young men and young boys especially be celebrated. One thing that bothers me so bad, especially as a high school teacher, because I am surrounded by so many young men, is the fact that our young men will rather be savages. They will rather be gangsters. They will rather be thugs instead of being who they are. Like, instead of being beautiful kings and instead of being purposeful and being intelligent, they have this desire, this innate desire to want to be like these role models that they see on TV that are not necessarily positive role models. Whatever happened to black boys? Whatever happened to black boys wanting to emulate and be like someone who was great? A doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, a father, a construction worker, a man that was honest and did a day's worth of work. It is so crazy with this Jeffrey Owens thing. You know, I was watching his interview on Good Morning America, and I only watched a short snippet, but he was talking about how our society has gotten away from being okay with an honest day's work. Why is it that we raise our black boys to think that they can only be an athlete or they can only be a celebrity? What happened to them being honest, good men who can work a job, be proud that they have that job, and then provide for their families? I know that some of you are going to say, like, a job is just a job, and a job always ain't enough. A job ain't always enough. But just like Jeffrey Owens said in his interview, no job is better than another one. It might pay you more. It might give you better benefits, like he said. But no job is better than another one. A job is a job. Even though I do this podcast, I still have a job, because that job, at its very basis, is meant to provide financial support for my family so that we can put one foot in front of the other every day and have a place to stay and have a place to lay our heads. And I think that is something, when we talk about black boy joy, that's something we need to get back to. Let's stop trying to raise our boys to be savages. Let's raise them to be kings, and let's raise them to understand that there is nothing wrong with an honest day's work. There is nothing wrong with going and doing something that is not thug. Like, it's not attached to some thug label, or it's not attached to being a savage. I absolutely cannot stand it. Burns my blood when I hear my boys say, oh, I'm a savage, I'm a savage, I'm a thug. But most of all, most of them don't even know the first thing about it, because you're way too young. But second off, who aspires to be a gangster? Like, who does? And what's the reason? And when I say gangster, like, maybe because I'm older, like, I think of the mafia and the mob. Like, if you're not running with the mafia and the mob, then yeah, okay, maybe. But I really think when we talk about the state of the black man in this country, I would be wrong if I did not at least acknowledge the fact that our black men and our black boys are being killed at numbers that are astronomical. They are being killed, they are being shot, they are being maimed, they are being jailed. And as a society of people, we've got to do something different, because every one of the black boys that I encounter, I want them to grow up. I want them to be someone. I want them to live a normal life and have a wife and have a family and do some of the things that their heart desires, devoid of being a thug and being a gangster. And so, let's start working on this black boy joy. If you are a mother or an aunt or a mentor or a brother, like, let's get our minds together, black fathers, black mothers, black sisters, so that we can help to raise our youth to be better examples of young men and women. Like, they're gonna have to run this country when we're dead and gone. And so we really, really, really need our young people to be kings and queens and not savages and thugs. It's just not even necessary. I don't understand it. I never will understand it. Nobody is going to dupe me into believing that black boy joy equals savagery and thuggism. It's not happening. So let's begin to make a mental shift in what we doing today. When we focus on you, let's focus on somebody else. Let's focus on helping a young brother, a young child, a young kid becoming something better than what they were before they met you. I'm sure you got a nephew you could talk to. I'm sure you got a cousin you could talk to. I'm sure you have a son that you could talk to, or a friend that you could talk to. When you see your brother slipping, you tap them on the shoulder and say, nope, I caught that, I see you, but I'm gonna help you get you together. If you struggling at school, you know what, bro, I'm gonna help you do better. If you see your nephew struggling with something, you know, I'm gonna come and pick you up. Let's go hang out, let's talk. Let's turn our young men, especially because they are so precious, into kings, into good, hard-working men who are someone that people can be proud of. And let's run away from this savage stuff. Let's run away from this thug stuff, because it's not right. And at this time, I would like to publicly give my husband a full-blown shout-out. He is my knight in shining armor. I don't care what nobody says. Yes, that's my husband. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I already know. But I want to give him a public shout out. I want to give him a public shout out because I want him to know that I appreciate the fact that every day he gets up and he does his job to provide for his family. Maybe it's not the job that he wants to do. Maybe it's not the job that he dreamed he would have, but he puts one foot in front of the other and he makes sure every day that we are taken care of. And so in the midst of saying Black Boy Joy, I have to celebrate the black man in my life, my husband. And I will publicly also like to acknowledge my son CJ. If me and your father have anything to do with it, you will be a black boy with joy. You will be a black boy who has something other to aspire to than these things that you see on TV. And y'all can mark my words, but I really think CJ gonna be an engineer. So if there's any engineers out there looking for somebody to mentor, let me know when he gets old enough. But anyway, this is Destiny signing out with today's Daily Diamond. I'll see you guys tomorrow.